At a high level, this diagram shows the entire disaster recovery workflow, from the resources I want to protect on the left, all the way to the verification and logging on the right. On the left, I have the workloads I care about, EC2 instances, EBS volumes, databases, and so on, grouped under the box called tagged workloads, backup equals yes. The important part is the tag. Anything with the tag backup equals yes is automatically considered in scope for this DR plan. The first arrow is labeled tag-based selection backup equals yes. That's telling you how AWS Backup discovers what to protect. The backup plan doesn't hardcode ARNs. Instead, it has a rule that says include anything with this tag. So onboarding a new resource is as simple as adding that tag. In the middle, at the top, is the backup plan, named DR Daily Plan. This plan defines three things. It runs daily, it keeps backups for 30 days, and it uses the tagged-based selection rule. This is the policy brain of the system. It decides when backups run and how long they're retained. From there, the arrow labeled Backup Jobs Create Recovery Points leads into the backup vault called DR Vault. The vault is where the actual recovery points live. Each time the plan runs, AWS Backup creates backup jobs, and when those jobs finish, the resulting recovery points are stored here in the DR Vault for up to 30 days. On the lower left is the EventBridge, which handles scheduling for the Lambda functions. The diagram shows it as EventBridge backup plus verify schedules, because it can drive both backup triggering and verification on a cron-like schedule. The arrow labeled Daily Backup Schedule Optional points from the EventBridge to the first Lambda, DR Backup Trigger. This Lambda is optional in the design. The backup plan can already run its own schedule, but if you want an additional layer, like forcing an extra backup at a specific time, you can have EventBridge invoke this function to call Start Backup Job programmatically. The more important path is the arrow labeled Daily Verify Schedule, going into the second Lambda, DR Verify Backup. This is the health check function. EventBridge runs it once per day after the backups should have finished. The arrow labeled List Backup Jobs / check status shows what DR Verify Backup actually does. It calls the AWS Backup APIs to list recent backup jobs tied to this plan and vault, looks at their statuses, and decides whether backups for the last 24 hours are healthy. On the right, both Lambdas send logs and metrics to CloudWatch logs. That's where all the execution details and health summaries end up. For example, DR Verify Backup writes a simple JSON summary like OK true or OK false, along with how many jobs it checked. Those logs are what you use to monitor the DR system day to day and to troubleshoot if something fails. So, if you read the diagram left to right, the story is tagged workloads with backup equals yes flow into the DR daily plan via tag-based selection. The plan runs daily and writes recovery points into the DR vault. EventBridge runs lambdas on a schedule. The optional trigger lambda can start jobs. The verify lambda checks recent jobs and their status, and everything is logged into CloudWatch. That's the full disaster recovery loop captured in one picture, policy-based backups, plus schedule verification, with cleaning logs, and all driven by tags and automation.